Hello, good people. Welcome back to Solo Podcast. Now, I would like to start this broadcast by asking this simple question. Was it a tragic road accident or something more? Now, in the last 72 hours, the death of former MP Cyrus Jirongo has gone from breaking news to a swirl of questions, conflicting statements, and wild speculation. Let's unpack the timeline, the inconsistencies, and why many Kenyans aren't satisfied with the official story. So, here is the latest development in the tragic death of a former Kenyan legislator and cabinet minister Cyrus Jirongo. New findings from the official autopsy have now been publicly disclosed, revealing the cause of his death following a fatal road collision this month. According to the postmortem report released this afternoon, multiple pathologists have concluded that Cyrus Jirongo died as a result of severe blunt force trauma sustained in the crash. The examination revealed extensive damage to his body, including multiple rib fractures, crash injuries to the chest and abdomen, perforation of the heart with rupture of major blood vessels, injuries to the spine, fractures to both legs and one arm. Medical experts describe these injuries as unsurvivable. And as it is in the public domain, Jirongo's death resulted from a head-on crash between his vehicle, a Mercedes-Benz, and a passenger bus in the early hours of that Saturday morning. According to investigators, his vehicle was struck directly by the bus, inflicting catastrophic force upon impact. At a press briefing, the family's pathologist and government pathologists outlined in detail the injuries that led to death of Cyrus Jirongo. Crash injury to the chest, multiple rib breakage, heart perforation with rupture vessels, internal bleeding in chest and abdomen, transection of the spinal cord, fractured limbs, right hand and both legs.
So thank you very much, Dr. Uduo. My name is Dr. Joseph Ndongo, a pathologist representing the family of the late Cyrus Jirongo. And we have looked at the body of the late Jirongo, and it had multiple injuries. There were multiple fractures. There was a fracture involving the right hand, two fractures involving the right hand, and then there were fractures of both lower limbs. The lower limbs are the legs. There was a crash injury to the chest with multiple ribs fracture. There was perforation of the heart with the rupture of most of the major vessels that connect the heart. There were also bleeding into the chest cavity, and also crash injuries going to the abdomen with the crash of the liver, with also bleeding into the abdominal cavity. There was also transection of the spinal cord at the thoracic level, and as a result of our examination, we formed an opinion that the late Cyrus Jirongo died as a result of a crash injury to the chest, the abdomen, and also spinal injuries due to blunt force trauma.
Experts emphasize that each of these findings on its own could be fatal, and in combination, they made survival impossible. Meanwhile, the Directorate of Criminal Investigations DCI has continued to probe the circumstances over the crash, including retracing Jirongo's final moments and reviewing CCTV footage from the area of accident. The family has also asked for a comprehensive review of what happened, including questions about how he ended up so far from his expected route that night. Cyrus Jirongo, aged 64, had a long and influential career in Kenyan politics. His passing has sparked an outpouring of tributes from supporters and colleagues across the country. There are several small but important inconsistencies that together create mistrust. First, there was a publicly acknowledged typo in the vehicle registration initially released by investigators. A detail the DCI later corrected and apologized for. That kind of slip makes people ask, if something as basic as a plate number was wrong, what else could be wrong? Second to that, various media and witness accounts differ slightly on times, who was with Jirongo earlier that night, and the exact route he took. Those differences are partly normal in breaking stories, but in this case, some eyewitnesses' claims and CCTV trails raised new questions, such as reports that a woman left his car earlier that night and that Jirongo had met prominent figures in Karen before driving off. Jirongo's family has publicly demanded an independent probe and said they will seek independent investigators to establish the true cause of his death. On the political front, senior figures and members of parliament have called for transparency. Some have also directly asked those that were last seen with Jirongo to come out and explain their accounts. So these public demands raise the political stakes and push for oversight beyond the regular traffic probe.